Alpinista's groom Annabel Willis, quite pleased after Alpanista was heroic in the Arc this year, and joins me now, having won the WorldPool Moment of the Year for her victory in the Yorkshire Oaks, Annabel, which has yielded you and all your staff at St Mark Prescott's 34 grand. So this is the season that just keeps on giving, isn't it?
Yeah, and she is the horse that keeps on giving. She really is so special, and we're so delighted to have her, and this has really just been the icing on the cake after a brilliant campaign this year.
I mean, we spoke at York after she won the Yorkshire Oaks. You were happy, to say the very least.
Yeah.
But just explain why the Arc provoked just that incredible outpouring of energy and emotion from you.
It was such a huge dream. I mean, everyone wants to have a runner in the Arc, a contender in the Arc, but to have a winner in the Arc is almost out of your wildest imaginations, for a groom especially. You know, you work with this horse every day, and I've worked with Alpanista for 4 years since she was a yearling. All that potential has come down to that moment, and it was just a surreal experience, and I could hardly breathe watching her. It was just incredible, and the level of elation, it was just indescribable. Now,
the person you were with there, you're very close to anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
So that kind of made it. So just tell me a little bit about how you're all connected.
So Molly, who I'm in the video with, she is Luke Morris's partner, and she's also my best friend, and I'm godmother to Luke and Molly's son Henry. So it was a very special moment to share with her. So, and she obviously has many connections to share my joy.
Did you know you were being filmed?
I was pre-warned that after York there might be some cameras around, but I can't really rein it in, unfortunately. I'm sort of in the moment with her, and yeah, I don't think that sound doesn't normally come out of my mouth very often, but for some reason that's the only way I know to react watching Alpanista run.
One thing I always notice when I'm at the races, and you don't see at home and you don't see on TV, Neil, is what happens after all the show of the owners and the trainers and the jockey having their discussion, which has probably happened 2 hours ago anyway. When the jockey gets legged up, what the jockey then talks to the groom about, and quite often if they haven't ridden the horse before, getting a little bit of a steer on a few things. I always find that fascinating because you always see it. Yeah,
well, you know, especially if you don't ride certain horses, you can only watch replays or look at their form and only get so far of a gauge. But these guys, like, they live with them. Like, they feed them in the morning, they groom them, they ride them out. So if anybody knows them as well as that, it's them. So when you need to find out something, you ask them. No point asking the trainer, because the trainer's in the Jeep driving off up to have a coffee. But now these guys, you know, it's always great to kind of get a character reference from a certain type of horse.
Yes. That's what you mean. So you sort of say, well, he or she is on good form at the moment, or he or she has been a bit funny this morning on the way here, or whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and just, you know, does it like a pat? Does it like, does it want to boot out a gate to make it jump, or does it jump natural? And no better place to get it from these guys.
And I think one of the things that British racing has done very well, and Champions Day has played a big part in that over the last 10 or 12 years, is, you know, expanding the interest for people who are following. You know, once upon a time, we just concentrated on the owners. Then it was the owners and the trainers. Then the jockeys became part of the whole thing. And now the stable, you know, those people who are involved with the horse every day. And I was really struck yesterday by Valentin Korotenko, who leads up Trushan. And he's Ukrainian. So Alan King was waiting for Trushan to come back to the winner's enclosure, and he arrived, and all that Valentin could say was, "It's 3, boss! It's 3, boss!" And the enthusiasm was fantastic. And Valentin, has had a horrible time. He's Ukrainian. He's had to go to Ukraine to get family out of Ukraine and get them to the UK. So he has been rewarded for that particular courage by being able to look after this horse. And it's 3, boss! It's 3.
You were up against a great shortlist as well in the WorldPool Moment of the Day. 4 of you vying for that. I did, however, think that when Alpanista won the Arc that you might just have a little bit of an edge. What kind of reactions it had around the yard winning the prize?
I think everyone was delighted. It was obviously a very hot competition, but you know, we're a small stable, and St Mark is a very long-standing trainer, but the majority of his staff, and especially his riders, are young people straight out of racing school. and they're so delighted to be involved with a horse that's so poignant in his career, and we're all just so delighted to have her. And I think one of the girls, she put, "Alpanista, you really are the queen of all our hearts," and I think that's very fitting, because she is.
And you've been so closely involved with her for such a long time now. How do you feel about taking her to Japan? That looks as though it's on the cards, talking to Kirsten and Sir Mark the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it does seem sort of, it's still very much under discussion, but it would be very exciting. It'd be something I've never done before. It'd be a little bit out of my comfort zone, but you know, I know her very well, and I'm sure we'll sort of work it out together. And she's extremely calm character. She's very professional, and I'm sure she'll take it all in her stride. She's well used to travelling around Europe, so obviously it's a bit of a further field trip, but I'm sure she'll handle it just fine.
Do you like the idea of it? Do you like the idea of the adventure?
Yeah, how could you not? You know, it's a far land that I would have never been able to go without Alpanista, and you know, it's obviously very exciting, and it would be an amazing, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take a horse out there.
And have you done every foreign trip with her? Have you been to Germany every time, to France every time?
I missed her first German Group 1 that she won because of COVID restrictions. I hadn't had all my vaccinations. That must have hurt. Yeah, it was a bit bittersweet. I watched the race at Molly and Luke's home, and I jumped up so much I hit my head on the beam in their living room.
Nobody was filming that one.
Yeah, no. But yeah, it was bittersweet. But I've been there every other time since, and I made sure not to miss a beat after that.
And I guess you just have so much faith in her as a character as well, that she seems so sort of self-contained, that she knows how to look after herself.
Yeah, she is a real professional, and she gets on with the job every day, and she really enjoys it. So, you know, that she's not at all sour in any way. She loves being a racehorse, and she's happy to do the job, and you really feel like she relishes in her racing.
I feel like I'm asking you the same question, similar question to the one I asked William Haggis earlier on, which was, how do you see life beyond Alpanista and being with her every day?
It's hard to imagine a time now that I haven't looked after her. I'd only worked for Sir Mark about 18 months when I got her as a yearling, so it's going to feel quite strange to be there without her, but it's been a remarkable journey. And because she'll only be at Landwade Stud, and Miss Rousing's such a fantastic owner-breeder, she has said that I can go and visit her, so she won't be too far away. So it will be a sad goodbye, but it's sort of a see you soon, not a goodbye forever.
Well, have a great time in Japan. Congratulations on the 34,000. I think Annabel should at least be promised a drink at the very least by each recipient, however this is people it's separated into. Thanks so much. It's been a great couple of weeks. It's been a great couple of years for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Annabel Willis, who looks after Alpanista and has played such an important part in one of the great success stories over the season.
Subscribe to Racing TV's YouTube channel now to watch more great races like this.